Shalom, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, and shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. All right, now I want to get into a quick lesson, just based upon us, being young in the spirit, first and foremost, and the way how we have to constantly acclimate ourselves, more within this truth, to be able to combat all things for us to grow, in the spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua with grace, with wisdom, with that bond of perfectness that the Lord is looking for, for each man to be able to be built up exactly to the point where the Most High needs you and where the Most High needs us most. So this is the book of Sirach 42, and I'm going to start off at verse 8, and it says, "Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, and the extreme age that contendeth with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all men living." Right? And why is the Most High saying to do this? Right? Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and the extreme age that contend with the young. Why? Because this is a part of our growth. Us dealing with people on a regular basis. Seeing the mindset of a person that's older, seeing the mindset of a person that's young and foolish and they don't have a clue about what to do or what's going on within the world, so on and so forth. And you could be able to look at yourselves sometimes when you see certain people or other people that were in your lives, and you can see how they thinking, so on and so forth. Because all this is adds to our knowledge, wisdom, and understand, so that therefore that we can edify the body of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. The scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, about doing things for edification's sake. So sometimes, hey, you might just want to pick somebody's brain or see where somebody's head at, so you can, start making a line in the sand to where you can see, okay, this is the temperature of Jake right now. This is what majority of Jake is thinking right now. That's why social media, it's, we know it's a great tool, and at the same time, it gives a platform for, a lot of the people just to speak a bunch of nonsense. But the more nonsense we speak, the more edifying we get to be, because we get to prove them wrong on so many different levels. We could break down things from, ancient times unto mid times unto now and then beyond, to what other people can do. Other people are not in a position to do because they don't dwell with the spirit. They're not informed with the knowledge of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, how we are. Therefore we truly have the upper hand. Because this is the way to truly gain wisdom. This is the way for us to truly be prepared for all things that are to come before us. And how the scriptures also say, I can't think of the scripture right now, but it says, I think it's in either Timothy or Peter's, where it says, be ready to answer all men, pretty much. Yeah, I believe that's Second Timothy's, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can hunt it down real quick. I believe that's Second Timothy's, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? Hey, well, this is still a spirit too. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So a form of studying, in a way, when you really look at it, is dealing with the masses of the people. Or when we go out there in the highways and byways, when we have these confrontations, when we hear other people's stance on what's going on in the world, so on and so forth. Or when we see these people up here, predominantly our people up here, going on these different platforms, speaking out about social injustice, or what they think should happen, or what they think is the solution to this, that, and the third. And you get to see how clueless our people really is, because, hey, the scriptures say what? Rightly dividing the word of truth. And if we rightly divide the word of truth, then America should forever be divided. Our people should always be divided as far as us dealing with the other nations, instead of coming together, how our people think that we somehow stand some sort of chance, or that the so-called white man is going to be willing to give up his power seat to give us more an advantage, when they're clearly our enemy. since time immemorial, which makes no damn sense whatsoever, right? I want to go back to that Sirach. So it was a few more verses in there that I wanted to get out. All right, so where's we at? All right, this Sirach 42, and and I started verse 18. 18 it says, "He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth." And he seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth, and considereth. Slakia, hold on. Fucking Satan on this damn thing. Slakia. The Lord have he seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices, for the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. So the Lord is controlling this, man. The Lord is seeking out, the ways of the people, seeking out the heart, the mind of the so-called white man. The Lord is making all things known through his signs that he places out here within the world. What signs are we clearly looking at? The race riots. What other signs are we clearly looking at? Vaccinations, they crafty devices, the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, this medical martial law. These are the signs that the world is beholding of, that the Lord Yahweh Shah set in place, man. You can't deny these things. It's no way in the world that you can deny these things. For anybody, even if they don't completely have the truth, and you come across this, it's no way that you can deny this, man. No way that you can deny this. Right? Verse 19, he declareth the things that are past, and for to come, and revealeth the steps of hidden things. And that's what the Lord have done with us, because what the scriptures say, surely the Lord will do nothing but he revealeth his secrets to the servants, the prophets, man. And that's what it is. And that's why we constantly bringing the word out week in and week out, and with these shows to edify the people, to let them know what time it is. You ain't got that much time in Babylon to get right, man. This is it. This is it, man. And it's all about gathering the wisdom of the Lord to be perfect, as perfect can be, so to speak. We know not literally perfect, but if we strive for perfection within the Lord counts that, you know what I'm saying, as he counts it. So I wanted to go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 7, because that's all King Solomon was really trying to do. That's all he was really trying to attain when you really look at it, and Ecclesiastes 7, and I'm going to start at all right, Ecclesiastes 7 and 18, and it says, "It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this, yea, also from this withdraw not thy hand, for he that feareth the Most High shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not. Also take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise have cursed others. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is afar off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness." Right? So this is what King Solomon did. Just as when we read in the book of Sirach 42, how it said, "Be not afraid to inform the unwise, or the extremely aged, with those that contend tendeth who those that are young." So King Solomon, he was doing his best to cover all ground so that he can truly seek out wisdom for himself, so that he can truly know the heart and the minds and the temperature of the people, and and that all comes back to him so that he further knows how to rule, with basic matters, with bigger matters, so on and so forth, man. Because when you're doing these things, it truly brings your knowledge and your understanding to a way higher level when you constantly have these things going on with people, and you seeing where the pulse of the nation is at, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You get so much information out of doing that, and that's a part of what we do, you know and that's why, what I'm saying, this thing is so beautiful, because there's always ways to be edified. There's always ways to edify. Always ways to be edified. There's always ways to edify. You know, and that dealing with the people, that's one of the supreme ways to really, to gauge yourself, and to constantly pick up on more things as we go along within this truth, man. And the more and more that we dive into dealing with the people, and seeing where their minds is at, the more clearer it gets to us. I know for me is that these people don't stand a chance, and that truly, that if the Lord don't come back and save us, hey, we'll be doomed here, man. This, when you do that, it makes the scriptures that much more crystal clear within your mind when you see it, man. So with that, I just hope this segment was edifying. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalom.